We are live and in living color. How is everybody doing? My name is Lester Green, and I'm going to be hosting the Rally Up Magazine Instagram Live for this particular segment. Ciola J in the building. Salute. I see you, Ciola J. California, stand up. I'm so excited about this guest coming on the show because she's a dear friend of mine. I consider her a sister. She's an amazing person. Her name is Nadira Pankey. She's a filmmaker, director, producer, screenwriter, actress, author. She does it all. She can create a solution. How are you doing? Salute. The weather's nice. It's a good day. Rather, good night. So we got Nadira Pankey coming on. We're going to bring her on, of course. I'm feeling excited. I can't wait for everybody to hear her story. She's dealt with a lot, from domestic abuse to sexual abuse to any and everything that you could think of. Her family comes from a drug addicted atmosphere, and she was able to overcome all of that. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about her film, Gerald's Hands, which gave her the power to overcome. So I'm excited about this. Hope you guys are excited. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to bring her on. How's everybody doing? A solution, wave. Nadira Pankey just joined. All right. Send me a request, Nadira Pankey, and let's get it cracking. Before we start the interview, I'm just going to do a couple of announcements. So we're encouraging mental health professionals, organizations, mental health coaches, anyone who provides mental health services and support to join our green resource pages for a small monthly fee of just $5 a month, which is tax deductible, because Rally Up Magazine is a product of our nonprofit We Fight Foundation Incorporated. You just got to sign up by clicking the link in the bio. All right. And for those who are back in the office, we got our professional bundle package. This includes a printed subscription to our mental health magazine and a placement in our green resource pages. So that's a good look. Also, we're accepting guest writers. So if you're interested, visit the website, rallyupmagazine.com, or send an inquiry via email to our editors team at rallyup.submissions with an S at gmail.com. I know you guys are out there writing, so listen, we need all the support that we can get. So if you want to share your story or if you want to be featured, please don't hesitate. Also, if you want to share your personal story, and of course, I just mentioned it, be featured, you should send an email to offc.rallyupmagazine@gmail.com, and we'll take it from there. Once again, we got Nadira Pankey coming on. I'm really excited. She's a filmmaker, director, producer, screenwriter, author, actress. She does a little bit of everything. So let's get it going. We got Nadira Pankey about to join, and we're going to make it do what it do. All right, Nadira Pankey, let's bring her in right now. All right. Antoine Allen Films, I see you, Antoine. Salute. Thank you for joining. We got a good one coming up.
Hey, there you go. Okay.
Nadira Pankey.
Hey, Lester.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Lester. How are you?
I'm feeling powerful.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. That's awesome. That's a great way to feel.
Yeah. So listen, let's get right into it. I wanted to talk about your book, Evergreen Uprooted, Memoirs of Secret. And I
Uh-oh,
wanted
you
to
brought the
talk.
book out,
I
Lester?
got the book.
You
I
brought the
wanted.
book out?
I
Okay,
did.
wonderful.
I wanted to talk about this little girl right here. Who does this girl represent?
That represents the Nas.
That represents you.
Yes.
So take us back. Take us back to the childhood. What was it like growing up in the mean streets of the Bronx?
When we talk about the streets of the Bronx, it was tough and it was exciting at the same time. We're gonna talk about the streets of the Bronx. It was tough because my home life was tough, right? And because I had to be tough, I was growing up amongst tough kids, even though I was not someone who was naturally that way. I was naturally, and I am naturally, a peaceful person, but I had to be tough. You have to. You don't have a choice. So that was the tough part. The exciting part of growing up in the Bronx when I grew up was just being out with the kids, man, and doing a lot of fun stuff. Turning on the fire hydrants, getting wet, and putting the radio boom boxes in the window against the window bars, and turn the music up as loud as they could, and people dancing in the music, and cars riding by with music, and sitting out all night on the hood of somebody's car, and looking up at the stars and talking and cracking jokes with all the kids in the neighborhood, playing all the childhood games, man. Kick the can, steal the bacon, red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, running through buildings, cutting across roofs and cutting through basements. So all that stuff, I want to say, was some of the exciting times of being out. But there were also some times where most of my times were not exciting, because I was always taking care of my sisters. I was always with children. So I never really had that chance to be a child. Every now and then, I'm talking about like once in a very blue moon. And how many nights of the moon is the moon blue? I got a chance to really get out and have a good time. My times that I had was mostly in the middle of the night, because I would be out to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But of course, by then, my sisters would be, in the house asleep. I have a sister. She's a year and 4 months younger than me. So she would be in the house, and that was like my time when no one was outside. To go outside and just have a good time.
Yeah, so you said that you took care of your siblings at a young age. How were you able to do such a thing at such a young age? Because that's not easy. You were almost like a parent. How did you have to grow up?
Love, love, love. I mean, to this day, when something happens, I don't react. I take care of whatever the situation is. People don't understand how I do it. And then I react later. And that's just my upbringing. I didn't have a choice. Sometimes when you don't have a choice, you do what you have to do. And I didn't have a choice. I had to take care of them, because I knew what would happen if I didn't.
So what would happen? What were you afraid of?
Okay, so I'll give you an example. I was 7. Yes, I was exactly 7 years old. And my mother had taken us all to Pelham Bay Park. Pelham Bay Park is bigger than Central Park in New York. We were all in Pelham Bay Park, and I decided I wanted to be a kid and I wanted to play. I wanted to go. They had the sprinklers going and the swing. So my sister and I, the one that we're a year and 4 months apart, we were playing at the park. My mother was with my 2 younger siblings. One was still in the stroller, an infant, and the other one was 3. My mother was under the tree smoking crack. My 3-year-old sister wandered off somewhere, and we couldn't find her. We all was just looking for her. We could not find my sister. At that time, we're talking about the 80s. There wasn't any payphones. I mean, I'm sorry, there wasn't any cell phones. Excuse me. There was no cell phones during that time. So what are we to do in a big park that's larger than Central Park? People think, no, Pelham Bay Park is the largest park in New York, not Central Park. Okay, and my sister was somewhere out there. And so we couldn't find her. My mother said, okay, I have to go walk across the bridge where we were near the 6 train line and go to the payphone to call the police. So she's running to do that. She takes my baby sister in the stroller with her, and she also takes my sister who's a year and 4 months younger. I stopped because the ice cream truck pulled up, and I said, "Mommy," I said, my sister, she loves ice cream. Maybe she'll show up here. So I stopped and I waited by the ice cream truck, and sure enough, she followed the sound of Mr. Softy, and she showed up at the ice cream truck, and we got her. We found her. So at a very young age, I learned that I could not turn my back on them, because if I did, something would happen,
So you
to
mentioned
them.
that your mother was smoking crack, but you were so casual about it. Was that something that you were accustomed to seeing, and how were you able to avoid that?
By that time, yeah, I was traumatized. When I think of my life, I want to say from probably 4 years old, going on 5, I was traumatized. Prior to that, I had that's the only time I had like a normal childhood. When I was 5, my mother had, she used to work, we used to go to this daycare, Colgate daycare, and she used to work there. She would drop off my sister and I. She had my sister at the time, the one that was 3, she was a baby. She had just had her. And she would drop us off there, but she also worked there at the daycare. And this particular day, she had to go to an appointment. And she ended up in a car accident where she fell through the window of a van. It was a bad rainstorm, and she almost died. When I came home from school, I was picked up by my grandfather. I walked in the house and I saw this Polaroid picture of somebody. I didn't know who I was looking at. And I looked deeper and deeper. And then finally I realized it was my mother. But she was like beyond recognition, covered in blood and glass. Somebody had taken a picture of her at the crime scene. And that traumatized me. And then she came home and we had to take care of her. She couldn't lift her neck. She had whiplash. She had over 200 pieces of glass still in her. She had to get injections to get it pulled out. And there was no nurse. I don't remember any nurse being there. We just was like young kids, 5 years old, 4 going on 5, making her cereal, trying to take care of our mother, me and my sister who was 3. And then we had my baby sister. And so I had to learn at a young age. I had to grow up. And I'll fast forward to the crack incident. My mother received a large settlement. And I remember she came home one night. I woke up in the middle of the night, so I always go in her room. And I woke up this particular night and she wasn't home. And she never left us alone. We were always on her hip, always with her. But this particular night, she wasn't home. And I remember I waited up in her bedroom, in her bed all night long. Because at the time, she was single and single mom with us, And when she came home, I had fell asleep, but I woke up to her pacing. And I asked her what happened because she wasn't home. And she said, I tried something. The man who would eventually become my stepfather, he had given my mother crack. And she said, I didn't like it. I don't know. She said, I don't know if I should do it again. I didn't like it. And I said, well, Mommy, if you don't like it, then don't do it. And she says, well, it did make me feel good. And I said, well, if it makes you feel good, you should do it. And that was crack. I had no idea what she was talking about. And she walked out and my life was never the same. So that was at 6. So we got a trauma going on 5. We have trauma, at 6. When I was 6 years old. And then more trauma came in, as at 7 when we lost my sister, and things just got worse. My childhood was in crack houses. I would be abused. It was just really rough. It was a rough time. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It was a very, very rough time. And I did not have any parental supervision or guidance. There was nobody here to give me baths. There was nobody here to do my hair, to make sure I had toothpaste, and to make sure we had food in the house, and to make sure we had clean sheets to sleep on. There was just no one there. So when you're in that position and you have no choice, you do what you have to do. And now we're talking about during the crack epidemic. So it wasn't like anybody was going to step in to help, because it was so many families that was affected, right? Everything was just this epidemic just destroyed so many people, and it destroyed my family, and it really destroyed my life. So when we talk about outside neighborhood, I remember this one time you know, all the kids were going to walk to Bronx River Projects because, you know, I could walk from Evergreen to Bronx River Projects. And I was so excited. Didn't have no ices, no water, nothing, but I was so excited because we were all going to go to Bronx River Projects and get in the pool. And so we took that long walk, and I was so excited. And as soon as we got there, I realized I can't get in the pool. Who's going to sit with my sisters? So I watched all the kids jump in the pool. You know, those are my memories with and I had to live vicariously through watching other kids be kids. I missed school because I had to stay home with my sisters. And you know, I used to go, my mother was also a heroin addict on top of a crack addict. So if she didn't get that dope, she got very sick. She ended up going on the methadone program, you know. And I remember that I used to ride the train with her every morning. She had to go to this program, or she would be sick as a dog. And we would ride to 125th Street, go to this place called the Lee Building, and I would go with her to get her methadone. And on the way home, she would nod. She would be nodding on the passengers to the right, to the left, standing up, nodding like the whole dope fiend nod. And I knew at a young age, I would have to tap her and say, "Mommy, it's I'll stop." So I had to grow up. It wasn't nothing I can do. I didn't have a choice in the matter. I had to grow up.
How did you?
Because God gave me the strength to do so. I don't know if my sister, the one that was younger than me, would have done it. We were a year and 4 months apart, but she never missed school. She went to school every day. I stayed home. You know, it was just God gave me the empathy and the compassion and the street wit and street smart to do it. You know, 8 years old, I was packing bags. I had my sisters in the shopping cart. I would sit them there while I packed bags, and that's how I got us food to eat. You know, so it's a lot. It's a lot. It's so much. It's so much to growing up in the Bronx in my life during that time. The times I did go to school, I thought I was stupid because I was so far behind all the other kids. You know, I didn't know what the hell the lesson was about. I was like, what is this about? You know, I thought I was dumb. I couldn't read very well. I got bullied. I didn't have what other kids had. They teased me. I was also very socially awkward. I was what you call that, social anxiety. I was afraid. And I think I was, now that I'm older, I think I was afraid because I always felt like everybody, it was better than me, you know, and I was afraid to talk to other kids and afraid to make friends. And, you know, kids laughed at me and they made fun of me, and I had to fight. I had to fight a lot. I had to fight more than I wanted to fight in school. And there's so many stories that I can go on and on and on and tell you, you know, during that time in my life. And I'm grateful because at 9, my mother offered me to smoke crack, and I knew to say no because I had been in so many crack houses. I saw what it did, you know, to people. I understood that drug, and so I knew to say no. So it's just a lot. It's a whole lot about the South Bronx, growing up, my childhood, my upbringing. It's a whole lot, man. It's not a joke. You know, it's really not a joke. And I'm grateful that I'm here today and that I love myself.
Yeah. You mentioned that you had to, you mentioned that you had to live vicariously through your friends on the playground. Is that where you got your imagination to become a filmmaker, to be a creative?
No, I didn't spend enough time on the playground. I spent time on the playground. My mother would take us downtown and she'd say Nicholas Park, "I'll be right back." And she wouldn't come back to leave us there in the daytime and then come back to the night time. And nobody took us because we were street kids. You know, they don't. I was like, wow, I'm surprised we didn't get snatched up. But no, that's not how my creativity came from watching television. I spent so much time alone by myself in the house with kids, and that's really all I had for entertainment was TV. And I never liked watching, you know, like kiddie movies. I did like the Smurfs. I did like the Smurfs, the Care Bears, but for the most part, I like, you know, to watch a lot of mature shows. I like to watch a lot of shows that didn't depict what I was going through. Like I would watch Little House on the Prairie, and I never knew why I liked it so much. But Little House on the Prairie, Laura Ingalls had a dad, and she had a mom, and when she had problems, she could go to them, and they would help her solve it. And so I like to watch shows like that, you know, that took me, they was in the country, you know, I'm in the, I'm in the hood.
Yeah.
You know, they surrounded by trees and, and large fields. And I'm like, surrounded, living up, you know, my buildings with adjoining buildings from one end of the block to the next. So it was just someplace, watching these shows took me someplace else and out of my environment. And it kind of, I think it kind of made me hopeful, you know, just watching it. I lived through these amazing TV shows. I lived through that, and looking out the window a lot, watching other kids play. I laugh and watch them play. And yeah, I want you to I can keep going on and on. I know you got to get to your questions, because
Nah,
that's
it's
just
all
question
right.
one.
It's all right. But you
That's just
mentioned
question
that,
one.
yeah, you mentioned that those shows represented love,
Mm-hmm.
right? How were you able to find love in the real world, though? Because that's on TV. So how were you able to find something similar to what you were seeing on TV?
Let's see, you're gonna make me cry. Well, first of all, you gotta love yourself. But I found love through God, for one. I found love through my grandparents, and they're gone. So I get very emotional. But they gave me so much love and so much hope. And they kind of balanced everything out, because we went into foster care and I lived with them, and they balanced it out. And I've never experienced that kind of love that I experienced from my grandparents. You know, that type of unconditional love that they gave me, stability, security, time. Time is very important, you know, long talks and conversations. So I don't mean to get emotional, but that just that did something to me. Now I can come off of them now, because I'll be crying the whole time, because I get like that with them. But for myself, it took me a while to find self-love for me. That was a big process. That was a long process. That was a long journey. And I really did not I didn't find the happiness that I have now, because I can say today I'm truly happy. Truly happy. But I didn't find it. I tried to get it in other people. I tried to get people to love me. And it's very hard when you don't have that love for yourself, right? So that was a huge journey in life. And I'm so happy today. Like I said, I love me. I didn't gain weight. I got a little chin going on. I got some cheeks going on. And I love every bit of it. But it was a journey for me to get here.
Yeah, Andrew R. McAllister, your love of your life, said no
Yes.
kid should have to go through what you did. You're strong, the protector.
Yes.
The love you have
Yes.
still so incredible today. So
Yes. And he's one of the reasons why I'm so happy, because God just really blessed me with him. And it doesn't matter, you know, what I love about him is that when he looks at me, he is always with love. It's not, I don't have to be someone I'm not. I don't have to be skinny. I don't have to be glammed up. Whenever he looks at me, he loves me just the way I am. And I'm just so grateful for that.
yeah, talk to us about that some more, because a lot of times we get in these relationships with people who don't love us for who we are. And Andrew R. McAllister is the complete opposite. He loves you
He does.
unconditionally.
He
Talk to us
does.
about that love.
You know, what I will say for everybody out there, for those who are in love, great. For those who are looking for love and are in search of love from a companion, what worked for me is I prayed. I said, God, I'm done. I am DONE. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tired. I'm tired of going through a relationship and then, you know, it not working and starting over and thinking this is the way. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm obviously doing something very wrong. So I went to God and I said, Lord, I want you to send me who you have for me, because I don't know what I'm doing. And then when we started dating, I prayed about him. I was like, if he's not for me, remove him. And that's a hard prayer, because when God sends you somebody, if he's not for you, God will remove him. I said, if he's not for me, remove him. And I loved him even more. And I said, okay, he's the one.
I love Andrew R.
Yeah.
McAllister. Great guy, incredible actor. We're going to talk about your film, Gerald's Hands, with Andrew R. McAllister. But I wanted to ask you a question about your family. I know you have two older kids who are incredible men, young men.
Yes.
How do you empower them with your power?
Just again, you know, my grandparents, they taught me a lot, right? So a lot of kids, they might feel like, I want more freedom. I want to go out. I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to ask permission. Wouldn't life be great if I could just go and come when I want? I had that. I had a life like that. With nobody, there was no supervision. I could do whatever I wanted to do. I could go and come when I want. You know, there was nobody to tell me no. There was nobody to tell me I can't go somewhere. I was riding trains. I do what I want to do. And then I had my grandparents, whereas I knew I didn't have to go out there and pack bags for food. I knew I was going to have a hot meal on the table every night at 6 p.m. You know, I knew kids need parenting. Kids need parenting. Kids need security, even when they think they don't. And so I'm just so grateful that I'm able to do that with my sons. And I talk to them and I keep it real with them. I tell them, I'm your mother. Yes, I'm your friend, but I'm your mother first. And when that call comes in, I'm the first one there, God and me. And I'm going to be there to the end. When everybody you listening to is telling you whatever, I'm going to be there. So I have these conversations with them, spend time with them, you know, sit down and say, hey, listen, say what you want to say. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I want your feelings are important too. I think that's important for kids, for them to know that, you know, just because you're the parent, it doesn't mean you know everything. And you have to listen to your kids and let them know that their feelings are important too. They have feelings. They have, you know, thoughts and concerns and things they go through. So you have to let them know, hey, listen, this is the open floor right now, Mom, but I'm going to be quiet and I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know what's on your mind, what's bothering you. Let's talk about it. Communication. My boys are wonderful, both of them. And I'm grateful. Yeah. And I'm grateful that they didn't have to live the life that I lived. They didn't have it easy, though. They didn't have it easy, you know, but I was there for them because I understand that it's not about money. It's about time when you have children. The kids don't give a damn about, they'll never remember. I don't remember things. I remember time. When I talk about my grandparents, it's the time. I had my own room. I had my TV. I had everything. I used to go get my hair and nails done. You didn't even hear me. That don't make me tear up because I got my hair and nails done and had cute shoes in the pocketbook to match as a kid. I tear up because I missed the time that I had with them, the moments. That's what's important to kids. Yeah. A lot of parents be out there working, trying to give the kid, nah, man. Not saying don't work, but that time, that's what's important. And that's what I give my sons.
Yeah, speaking of time, I think it's time to talk about Gerald's Hands, your feature film starring.
Wait, let me show you my sweater, my Gerald's Hands merch.
Yeah, I got mine too.
My Gerald's Hands merch.
Yeah. So talk to me about Gerald's Hands, the feature film that you and Andrew R. McAllister produced. How did that film give you power?
You know, again, this comes with having self-love. I had been working on so many different projects. I had produced feature movies. I directed one in 2014. It was a SAG feature. Never talked about it. Never told anyone I knew how to do it. I just always dimmed my light. And things just, it wasn't working out the way I wanted it to work out. And I couldn't understand why, right? Sometimes we keep doing things the same way. It's like we turn around in circles. And when we stop, we're in the same place and just dizzy. So I was like, what's going on? And I had to do something different. And, you know, somebody said, hey, Naj, you have power. That would be Mr. Antoine Allen. I don't want to say somebody and not say his name. Antoine. He said, Naj, you have power. He said, why don't you take all that energy that you putting into everybody else? All you do is give. He said, pour some of that into you. And it's the best decision that I could have made, because God wants me to take what's in me and share it with the world. And this is something that worked. This is something that gave, when you talk about power, because I wrote it, directed, produced it with Andrew McAllister. And nobody can say, we're not going to put this out. We're going to redo it. Nobody can say that, because we have ownership of it. And there's a strong message in this story. These are real people. This is a raw story. It's an inspirational drama, but it's the real deal. It's not, you know, no sugar-coated, you know, cartoonish stuff. This story is covering a lot of social issues. It's covering homelessness, bullying, domestic violence, grief, autism awareness. So substance abuse. There's a lot of things that a lot of social issues that this movie covers. And this is based on things that I've seen, that I've experienced, real people that go through real things. And Gerald's Hands is going to take everybody on a journey. But what I hope and what I pray is that when you watch it, you walk away better. Walk away better. And I hope that people will value life. Be grateful for what you have in life. Be grateful for it. I don't have no time to be complaining. I don't have any time to be worried about who's doing what, who's supporting me, who's not. I'm doing God's will because I'm here. And I made it through domestic violence. I made it through homelessness. I've never used drugs, but I've been with people who use drugs. I had a mother on drugs, and I've been through a single parent, and I've made it, and I'm here. And it's only a miracle that I am. So I don't have no more time to dim my light. I don't have no more time to worry about what anybody has to say, what people who don't even know me and know my journey think of me. I have to do what my purpose is while I'm here, for the time that I'm here on this earth.
Yeah. How can people see Gerald's Hands?
Gerald'sHands.com. Go to Gerald. Everything's on Gerald'sHands.com. Gerald'sHands.com. Click the yellow button that says buy tickets. We're having a 1 day only, April 2nd, 2022, this year at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On World Autism Awareness Day, we're going to have a screening, 1 time only. And it is this Saturday. That's when April 2nd is, this Saturday. You can go to Gerald'sHands.com, click on buy tickets. It's on Eventbrite. It's only $15. And it's a fundraiser, because we still have a ways to go with this movie. And just like God helped to get this movie made, God will get it where it needs to go.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Whoever said I got my ticket. Thank you so
We
much. I'm so happy
that.
you got it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So I want to talk about toxic people. I know we briefly talked about that, but talk to us about the importance of protecting your energy, because it seems like that negative energy can carry over.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna put it to you like this. I guess I gotta put it to it. I'm trying to put it in the clearest way that I can. When you talk about toxic people, we have to follow the ways of God, right? All the ways. because God is all wisdom and all knowing. Now, Satan sang in the choir, right? Lucifer. Didn't he sing in the choir in heaven? Did you know that?
I did.
Okay, yeah. That devil was in the choir singing. Okay? And God was like, I want this toxic, demonic devil out of here, man, because he's toxic and he's destroying my choir. He got to go. God cast him out. He took a third of the angels with him, man. So that tells you all you need to know. Nobody has time for that. If you have and he looks like an angel of light. If you got a toxic person in your life, in your circle, they got to go. Get rid of that poison. They got to go, man. That's what I think about toxic people. I don't have no more place. I don't have no place for them. Not in my life, because I honor and I value my peace. Countries go to war for peace. That's the best. That's the best gift in life that God can give us is peace.
Mm-hmm.
And the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So I don't want that around me.
Yeah. So I see a shift in you.
You see a shift?
Yeah, because I remember when I first met you, you were very reserved and laid back, but I see a new Nas. It sounds like you've really come full circle. It sounds like you found your power, and it shows. It looks great on you. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Lester.
It looks great on you.
Thank you. I've COVID and I've experienced a lot of loss. People just dropping out my life, passing away. And I think because we met pre-COVID. So for me, I'm valuing life more. I'm valuing my life more.
Yeah.
The time that I have here, I want it to mean something. So all of the other stuff is irrelevant. It's not even important. The stuff that we focus on is like, man, come on. It's not even important. What's your purpose? What are you going to do with this day? How you make this day count and make it special. So that's really, that's probably what it is, Lester. It's just I'm excited about life. And I'm excited about this journey. And I'm excited about Gerald's hands and and who is going to reach and how it's going to impact people's lives. I'm excited about that. Doing good, doing something that's meaningful.
Yeah. Nikki Cotman, the founder of Rally Up magazine, has a question for you. She says, your upbringing was very challenging. How has your upbringing affected your mental health as an adult and the choices you made in life?
Oh man, it was so challenging. I think one of the biggest things that we all need in life is love and acceptance. And that was the most challenging. I mean, I went through physical abuse, child abuse, and, seeing domestic violence on top of that, sexual abuse. I had all these things happen to me. But I think the hardest thing was not being loved, having that taken from me. I remember as a kid, I would ask my mother for hugs because it felt so good. My mother was my whole world. I idolized my mother. She was my whole world. And I didn't grow up in the church or anything like that. I'm just being really honest. So my mother was everything to me. She was just the most beautiful person. She was so social and outgoing. Like everything about her, I could just look at my mother and watch her all day and be in awe. And I remember I would ask her for hugs and she would tell me, I got to give you a quick one because I don't like hugging. I feel uncomfortable. She never gave me hugs and affection. I would watch her give it to my stepdad, but she never liked to hug us. So I didn't grow up getting that love, feeling that love, that affection. And it affected me because as I grew up, I didn't know how to give that to my kids. I didn't know how to give that to, you know, I'm a divorced woman. I didn't know how to give it to my husband. I didn't know how to be affectionate because I never received it. Yet I really wanted it, and I wanted love. And even when I received it, sometimes it didn't even feel normal or comfortable because it was something that I didn't grow up with, if that makes sense. So it really affected me mentally. And I'm so happy now I'm able to heal and to love. To love. You know, I was abused by my cousin, by my female cousin. So I was sexually abused by my stepdad on my 11th birthday. And in the following year, my cousin, my mother's brother's daughter. And not only did she abuse me, she abused two of my younger siblings because my mother was on drugs. And that's what they do. You know, that's what these pedophiles do. They look at the kids and say, oh, yeah, this kid is alone. This kid doesn't have anybody, or they have low self-esteem, or there's no supervision. I can get away with it, you know? And
yeah,
that's what happened. So it really, I didn't know. I didn't know how to. It affected a lot of things. It took a lot of things away from me, but God gave it all back. God gave it all back, and I'm grateful. And again, we were talking, somebody said, if you could change what happened, no, I wouldn't change it. Because if I change what happened, I wouldn't be able to have empathy and understand people that's really going through it. Not just look at it and say, wow, this person's life was messed up. But I understand what it is to be homeless. Not just to be on the street. No, I know what it is to be homeless. I was thrown out at 17. I know what it is to sit out in the street at night and you can't close your eyes because you don't know who's going to walk up on you. You know how blessed it is to be in a house and be able to lock your doors at night and close your eyes and go to sleep? You know how much of a blessing that is? I know what it is. And to be out 17 years old, homeless in the streets of New York, and go to the last movie and say, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm not going to even watch the movie. I'm 17 years old. I'm not going to even watch. I'm going to go to sleep because I know for the rest of the night, I got to keep my eyes open. I got to get some rest. So I'm sneaking into a movie theater to close my eyes, watching the last show to go to sleep so I can stay up all night. And sitting in the park and you on a bench and you looking to your right, your left, or behind, you know who's going to walk up on you. I know what that feels like. Would I change it? No. Because I know what it is. I know what it is when you don't have a shower and you washing up at the sink and your skin is getting hard and crusty and ashy because you're not letting that water hit your body every day. Yeah, you washing up, but certain parts it's full. You got ashiness and your skin is changing and it's hard, and what it does when you in the street. Or you taking showers and baths in different places and different kind of water's hitting your skin and it's just not the same. You drying out.
Yeah.
I know what it is to be on a train riding all night and open your eyes and there's somebody in front of you with a newspaper masturbating, and you run from one end of the car to all the way to the front at 17 years old. And God sent people to help me. God sent people to help me. So and I've never used drugs in my life. So I don't look at people on the street and say, oh, that person's on drugs, or I don't do that. We can't judge people. We just have to kind of, have compassion. And I feel when you go through something, you have more compassion. For me, it's an honor to serve the homeless on Thanksgiving. It's an honor to serve them on Christmas. It's an honor because I know what that is. So it's just about having an understanding, and you got to sometimes go through a process to have that understanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I have to ask you about just past relationships, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll hear about people who have been with somebody for 10, 15 years, but those people are with someone for the wrong reasons. And with you, I love that you recognize what something is on the surface. You're not about to pretend to be something that you're not. You're not about to fake being in a relationship just because you want to be with somebody. Can you talk to us about the importance of recognizing a healthy relationship?
Woo! Well, again, going on that straight and narrow. On that straight and narrow, you know, you on your journey and you doing good. And then you got that distraction to your right, you got that distraction to your left. Are you gonna stay focused or are you gonna get distracted? You know, gotta really pray and ask God to send you the right one. I would say that. I've been in several bad relationships, and that was part of my journey of looking for love in all the wrong places. That was part of my journey of self-hate, you know, and settling for things that I really shouldn't have. And again, by the grace of God, I'm still here. I almost lost my life. I was 22 years old. I gave birth to my son in August of 1998. In December of 1998, that same year, I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was a real deal. It was a real thing. And I had to leave one state and go to another and run for my life. And that's not even the beginning, you know, just not really loving myself and being in things that I shouldn't have been in, being in places that I shouldn't have been. So I will say that it's very important to have healthy relationships. Again, toxic. If someone's toxic, let them go.
Yeah.
It was a movie. I forget the movie. They told this story about the frog and the scorpion needed to get across the lake. And the frog said, the scorpion asked the frog, please, can you get me across the lake? And the frog said, no, because if I carry you across the lake, you're going to sting me. And he said, no, I promise you I won't do that. I just want to get across the lake. So the frog took the scorpion across the lake. And at the end, the scorpion stung him. And he said, why did you do that? And the scorpion said, because it's in my nature. So people show you who they are. Believe them.
Leave them.
Get them out. I don't care if it's anything negative, get them out. Get them out.
So let's talk about the future. It looks promising. What are some of your goals moving forward? What are some things that you want to accomplish? I know Gerald's Hands is about to be released, and that's a great accomplishment. But talk to me about some of your goals.
Oh, wow. My goal is to live in peace. My goal is to continue to make inspirational movies that will bless someone. I just want to work for God in that way and bring more hope to the world. You know, of course, I'm in the process of trying to get a home, a house. I rent, and I want just a place whereas my children, no matter, they're grown now, right? My sons, they're grown. But when they have families and do what they do, I just want them to know that they have home, that this is always going to be home when I get that. So that's a goal, to continue to be able to make film, because films make me happy. And I believe in life, we have to do the things that make us happy, because we can't take none of this with us, right? So we have to live our life and enjoy it with the people that we love, and just do the stuff that make us happy. So films, I'm happy. I love creating films and working with great people, wonderful people. And I have to say, Gerald's Hands, we had some phenomenal people, cast and crew. Just starring Andrew McAllister, just phenomenal. Lester, you are just beyond phenomenal. You have been so supportive, so helpful, such a blessing, such a wonderful friend. I mean, we're just really, 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 really blessed. This project is really blessed. We have some great original music. Gerald's Hands has a theme song, y'all. We got one hip hop and we have a slow jam. So I believe R&B is so I'm just so excited. We had some great original music by Pen Game Classic. M. Will on the tracks.
And Will on the track.
Boyd, my amazing
Marcus
cousin,
Boyd.
Justina Weems. I'm telling you, you guys are in for a treat. And it is all God. To God be the glory. I cannot do anything unless God gives me the strength and the know-how and the gift to do it. So I will not deny and dim my gift anymore, because God wants me, Emmanuel said it, let's go. Showtime. He said it. God wants me to go. Like, listen now, I didn't brought you out of darkness. I didn't brought you through so much. Let's go. In this world, we need some inspiration. So I'm excited. I'm excited for, more films. I know there's a house in the future. I'm praying for it. I'm learning. I'm from New York. Nobody in my family bought a house. We all, so I'm excited. Really excited.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Please go to geraldshands.com and get your ticket to watch the virtual screening on April 2nd at 8 p.m. That's Gerald's Hands, GERALDS Hands, HANDS.com. Get your ticket. This movie is going to make a huge difference in the world.
This Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Absolutely. And please follow Rally Up Magazine. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Please go to the website, rallyupmagazine.com, and purchase the magazine. Shout out to Nikki Cotman, the founder of Rally Up Magazine. She's incredible. She has a wonderful team. She's the one who makes this all go round and round. So to Nikki, thank you so much for giving us this platform to just be who we are.
Amen. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, do you have any shout outs or closing?
Oh my goodness, I see Emmanuel on here. Emmanuel, Showtime, Millette. I see my baby, my boo, Andrew McAllister. I don't know if Tanisha Lynn Franklin is in the house, but she's amazing. And then, of course, I got to give a shout out to you, Lester Green, Nikki Powell. Thank you so much for this opportunity, for this platform, for being here. Bridget, you are a doll. Thank you for getting tickets for Gerald's Hands. I'm just trying to see about the comments, because I got to look in the comments to see who's in here. I can't see the comments. I tell y'all, I'm just so slow. I'm slow with Instagram. But listen, everybody who's on this live today, whoa. I thank you so much. I feel blessed just to be here and share my story. To be able to create a feature is only God. So thank you to everybody who played a part in Gerald's Hands, who made it happen, man. I'm telling you, whoa. I mean, let me just tell you.
Whoa is right.
Man, God is so great. From the locations, I found these locations, and it was only God. One of the locations didn't have no furniture at all. My friend loaded up the back of her pickup truck by herself, over 50. And when you guys see Dr. Timothy's office, just know that that lady loaded up all that stuff and brought it for Gerald's Hands. I gave shout out to Tanisha. I don't want to start calling out names because you miss people and they get upset, but I got to throw it out. Tanisha, man, was my script supervisor. She was doing Gerald's hair. When you see Gerald's hair do, Tanisha made sure Gerald's hair stayed right. I said, oh my God. Then she came the next day with some hairspray. I said, I can't take it. She came the next day with a brush and some hairspray, okay? She made sure I was good. I got special water. I was like, whoa, you bought this bottle of water for me? Like everybody had the little small bottles.
The regular water.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, because I was a director, but I was doing so many different things. I just roll up my sleeves and work. But she just knew, I mean, everybody, Van Miller, just, I hate calling out names because when you miss somebody, they be like, oh, she didn't call my name. So, I don't go into that, start throwing names out there. But it's just was so many people. Everybody that was a part of Gerald's project, Gerald's hands, played a huge part in making it happen. The PAs stuck around. I'd be like, "Y'all go home." They say, "Miss Nas, we don't go home till you go home."
Preach.
Everyone loved the story, and they poured their everything into it, and I'm grateful because we couldn't have done it without all of you. You know, we had our DP did our lights, he did our sound. I mean, you can't, come on, you know, it's just so much. It's so much that was poured into Gerald's hands, so much love, so much time. And I'm really proud of what we did on our budget. And it doesn't look like the budget. And that's what God will do. When I always say, when you work for God.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen. Definitely. I wanted to just make one last announcement for Rally Up Magazine. So obviously we want to thank all of our subscribers and supporters of our movement to rally up to save lives. And finally, our foundation will be selecting a family for the quarter to help. We believe in financial struggles, and not being able to provide for your family weighs heavily on one's mental health. Families can be nominated, or they can nominate themselves by visiting our website, which is rallyupmagazine.com, spelled as it is, or you can visit our We Fight Foundation Incorporated Instagram page and click the link in the bio. The flyer is attached. So salute to everybody who tuned in. We appreciate everybody. Nadira, Nas, Pankey, you are a soul survivor, and I appreciate everything that you represent, and we all appreciate you, and we all love you.
Thank you. Please follow Gerald's Hands on Instagram, Gerald's_hands, and subscribe to geraldshands.com. We are having our screening again, World Autism Awareness Day, which is this Saturday at 8 p.m. You can go to geraldshands.com, click on the link that says get tickets, and it's on Eventbrite for $15. I hope to see you all there. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Rally Up Magazine. Thank you, Lester Green. Awesome interview. Thank you to everybody who's out there who's supporting Gerald's Hands. Love you.
I love you guys. All right, take care. Salute, Nikki Powell Cotman, founder of Rally Up Magazine. We appreciate you, and we love you.
Thank you.
We out. All right,
Thank
later.
you.
All right.
Later.